So hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mission UGC at Home Science. So today we are going to discuss chapter 4 under unit 2, that is nutritional biochemistry. So in nutritional biochemistry we will discuss carbohydrates, protein, fats and etc. So first we are going to discuss about the carbohydrate. So if we move toward its chemical composition, so all carbohydrates are made up of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, and the ratio between the number of hydrogen and oxygen atom in their molecule is always 2:1. In Indian diet, about 70 to 80% of the energy requirement by the body is provided by carbohydrate. So plant produce carbohydrate through a process we all know that it is photosynthesis, and the chlorophyll of the plant uses the sunlight to synthesize the carbohydrate from carbon dioxide and water. So the number of sugar molecule in each group of carbohydrate is indicated in this figure. So it is divided into three parts: monosaccharide, disaccharide and polysaccharides. Monosaccharides are also known as simple sugars, and they have only one carbohydrate unit. Example is glucose, fructose and galactose. Then disaccharides have two carbohydrate units. Example is sucrose, maltose and lactose. Then polysaccharides, it has more than two carbohydrate units, and example is starch, dextrins, glycogen, cellulose and pectin. Next is the type of monosaccharides. So we all know that monosaccharides cannot be hydrolyzed into simpler compounds. Glucose, also known as dextrose, grape sugar or corn sugar, is widely distributed in nature, and it is less sweeter than sugar, but it is present in sweet foods like oranges, grapes, etc., and even in vegetables like sweet corns and carrots. In animal body, it is the end product of the digestion of starch, sucrose, maltose and lactose. Then types of monosaccharides are biose. Example of biose is glycolic aldehyde. It is the only member of this group, and it is a crystalline substance and easily soluble in water. It has sweeter taste. Then triose, two compounds of this categories are glyceraldehyde and dihydroxyacetone. They occur in plants and animal tissue in small amounts, and it is derived from the breakdown of glucose. Then tetrose are two compounds belonging to this categories are erythrose and threose. Then pentoses occurring commonly in nature are arabinose, xylose and ribose. Deoxyribose, which occur in deoxyribonucleic acid, contain one oxygen atom less than ribose. Then arabinose, it does not occur free in nature. The polysaccharide araban present in cherry gums or gum arabica is formed by the combination of large number of arabinose molecules. Then xylose, it does not occur free in nature. The polysaccharide xylans present in wood, gums, straws is formed due to the combination of large amount of xylans molecule. Then ribose, it present in adenylic acid and ribonucleic acid, occur in plants and animal tissue. Then deoxyribose, it is a constituent of deoxyribose nucleic acid, DNA, which is present in the nucleus of plants and animal cells. Then hexoses are divided into two groups: aldoses or sugar containing aldehyde groups. Example is glucose, galactose and mannose. And second is ketoses or sugar containing a ketone group. Example is fructose and sorbose. Then glucose, which is also known as dextrose. Glucose has an important function in the blood of animal and man, where it serves as a source of immediate source energy for body cells and tissues. Normal human blood contain about 80 to 100 milligram of glucose per 100 ml of blood. Blood glucose comes from dietary carbohydrates stored of glycogen in the body, or from the synthesis of carbohydrate. Then fructose, which is also known as levulose or fruit sugar. So fructose occur in free state along with glucose in many fruits. It is readily utilized by the body as a source of energy. It is highly soluble in water and does not readily crystalline. Galactose does not occur free in nature. It is produced in the body during the digestion of disaccharide lactose. So this is the structure formula of monosaccharide, glucose, fructose and galactose. So next is disaccharides. So disaccharides are formed by the combination of two monosaccharides by the elimination of one molecule of water. So sucrose is also known as cane sugar or beet sugar. Sucrose occur in sugarcane in the proportion 10 to 12%, in beetroot 12 to 18%. So sucrose is a white or brown sugar which we use. Sucrose is formed by the condensation of one molecule of glucose and one molecule of fructose, and by the elimination of one molecule of water. Sucrase is readily hydrolyzed to glucose and fructose by dilute mineral acid or by enzyme sucrase in the intestinal juice. So figure shows synthesis and hydrolysis of disaccharide. So the combination of glucose and fructose, they form the sucrose molecule. So maltose or malt sugar is not present in an average diet. It is formed in cereal grain like barley, jowar, ragi, etc. during germination by the hydrolysis of starch by the enzyme diastase. Among sweetening agent, this is found in corn syrup and corn sugar. In the body, the most important source of maltose is an intermediate product in the digestion of starch. It is hydrolyzed to 2 molecule of glucose by the enzyme maltase present in the intestinal juice. Then lactose or milk sugar is produced by the mammal and is the only dietary carbohydrate of animal origin. When lactose is hydrolyzed by the enzyme lactase present in the intestinal juice, glucose and galactose are formed. So this figure indicates the structural formula of disaccharide, sucrose, maltose and lactose. So next is polysaccharides. So we all know that polysaccharides include the starch, the dextrine, glycogen and the cellulose. They are complex compounds of high molecular weight composed of varying number of glucose molecule linked together in a long chain. So the characteristic of polysaccharides are determined by the number of glucose unit it contain and their arrangement within the polysaccharide molecule. So polysaccharide tends to be insoluble in water and are broken down in various degrees. They are amorphous and not sweet, so they are important in nutrition as starch, dextrine, glycogen and cellulose. So first polysaccharide is starch. So we all know that it is formed in nature by the condensation of large number of glucose molecule, about 4,000 to 15,000 unit of glucose. It consists of mixture of two compounds called amylose and amylopectin. It is the most important carbohydrate in the human diet. It is the storage form of carbohydrate in plant. Cooked starch is palatable and easily digestible. So starch is hydrolyzed by the enzyme amylase present in the saliva or pancreatic juice to maltose. Then second is dextrins. So dextrin is formed by the partial hydrolysis of starch by acids or amylase. They occur as metabolic products in animal and plant. An example is when toasting of bread. So next is glycogen. So on hydrolysis, glycogen also get converted into glucose. It is formed by the condensation of large number of glucose molecules. Then other polysaccharides. So many other polysaccharides are present in varying amount in many plant foods. They are cellulose, fructogens, galactans, pentogens, pectins, hemicelluloses. All these are not acted upon by the digestive juice in the human intestinal tract. They help to increase fecal bulk and prevent constipation. Thus, fiber or roughage consists of cellulose and hemicellulose. It contributes little to nutritive value. It helps in stimulation of peristaltic movement, and there is reduction in time the waste food stay in the colon. Then carbohydrate requirement. So the carbohydrates supply 50 to 60% of the calorie in the diet depending upon the economic status and the age of the individual. In balanced diet, about 50 to 60% of the energy in the diet is supplied by carbohydrate. So next is sources of carbohydrates. So there are various sources. Cereals are the most important source of carbohydrates. Then roots and tuber are the next important, and then pulses and fruits are moderate source containing some amount of carbohydrate is also being consumed in the form of pure sugar or jaggery. And then metabolism of carbohydrates. So glucose, galactose and fructose absorbed in the intestine pass through the portal circulation to the liver. In the liver, a part of the glucose and the entire galactose and the fructose are converted into glycogen. A part of the glucose passes into the general circulation and to the various tissue for being oxidized and used as energy. And a small part of glucose is stored in liver and muscle as glycogen, and some portion of the glucose is converted into fat and stored in adipose tissue. So the oxidation of glucose in the tissue occur in two stages. First, glycogen in which the glucose is converted into pyruvic acid and then lactic acid. Then pyruvic acid oxidation cause carbon dioxide and water. The first stage is known as glycolysis, in which the glycogen is depleted into the glucose and glucose is further converted into pyruvic acid, and the oxidation of pyruvic acid take place through a series of reaction known as tricarboxylic acid cycle, that is Krebs cycle. Then glucose formation from non-carbohydrate sources. So glucose can be formed from the metabolism of protein and from the glycerol of fat. It has been estimated that the glycerol present in 100 gram of fat can give rise to 12 gram glucose, and metabolism of 100 gram of protein can give rise to 50 to 60 gram of glucose. So lactate, which is formed from glucose and it is reconverted into the glucose in the liver. The completeness of digestion of the carbohydrates is expressed as coefficient of digestibility varies with the food source. Two methods of absorption are to occur. First is diffusion resulting from osmotic process, which permit absorption of simple sugars into the bloodstream. Second is chemical combination of the sugar with phosphorus and occur during passage through intestinal wall, and when the compound enter the bloodstream, the phosphate release the sugar. So next is functions of carbohydrates. So it is used as a source of energy. It also has a protein sparing function, and it helps in regulation in fat absorption, and it also has a role in gastrointestinal function. This is it, and in the next video we will going to discuss about fat, protein,